Hello beautiful people, today we're going to talk about why career advancement is important, and at the end of the video you're going to understand why sometimes being selfish is a really good thing. When you think about getting promoted, do you ever wonder why career advancement is an important thing? We're going to talk about that. And do you also wonder what separates the people who get promoted from the people who don't? And hint, it's not just about hard work. And also, do you want to know why being selfish is really sometimes super good? If you believe, as I do, that human beings are at their most alive when they are learning, contributing, growing, helping each other, being alive, bringing vitality to work and joy to the work that they do, then it makes sense to adopt a kind of grow or die attitude. The other option, and I'm sure you know some of these, is you become a zombie. There are lots of people right now who are just clocking in at work, who don't see themselves as contributing, don't see themselves as adding value. And as far as I'm concerned, those people are effectively zombies. And it's heartbreaking to watch people who are just doing that. There's a beautiful story of a toll booth ticket collector when, in the days before super tags, and when you would actually, pay 2 quarters into a toll booth as you were going across a bridge or on a particular part of a road. And the toll booth collection people were always kind of zoned out, and they were just collecting the money and flipping the switch to let your car go through. There was one particular guy who would come up to the bridge every single day, and he would go through all the different toll booths, and he discovered that there was one guy who always had really nice music on, always had a smile for him, and always asked him how he was. It didn't make the process any longer. It was just this beautiful little interaction every single day. So one day when the traffic wasn't particularly heavy, the guy stopped Mr. Happy in the toll booth and said to him, "Hey, why are you always in a good humor? And why are you always happy? And why are you so gracious when I pay the 50 cents toll?" And the guy said to him, "Because I'm not just here gathering 50 cents. I'm giving you access to one of the most beautiful parklands in the world." So what that guy was doing in there was he was actually seeing how he contributed beauty and value to other people's lives. He was absolutely refusing to be a zombie. So if you believe, as I do, that we live to contribute to each other, then it's worthwhile making sure that you understand what career advancement means for you. The thing to recognize about zombies is that they're always right, they're always victims, and they've taken themselves out of the learning equation. Career advancement is not a conversation that they're even interested in having. And even if they're good at their jobs, they certainly don't love their jobs. This is why career advancement is so important. So if you're going to be spending 8 hours plus a day, and some of us do 40, 50, 60-hour weeks, don't recommend it. If you're going to be spending 8+ hours a day at work, it needs to be giving you something back. It needs to not turn you into a zombie. And one of the ways to make sure that doesn't happen is to be selfish. And the reason why I think selfishness is so important is selfishness is the putting your own mask on first. So when you're on an airplane and they go through the safety regulations and they pull down the life jacket and then they say, if we're going to have air problems or we're likely to have some kind of crash, you will see the mask drop from the ceiling. The most important thing you can do, regardless of who's sitting beside you, even if it is your own child, is to put your own mask on first. Your role at work is largely to make sure that you are adding value and contributing. And the only way you can do that is to really love what it is that you're doing. The way to love what it is that you're doing is to understand career advancement. The way to understand career advancement and the lens through which to look at career advancement is selfishness. Am I going to enjoy this? Is this going to add value to my life? Is this going to add value to the lives of other people? By adding value to the lives of other people, is that going to make me more happy? So it's a little bit controversial to say that selfishness is so important, but I really view it as putting your own mask on first. Make sure that you do that whenever you're thinking about career advancement. So I'd love you to play a little bit of a game here. Practice being selfish just for a day. And by that I don't mean being selfish like a child is selfish, like I keep my toys to myself. This is much more making sure that you allow work to bring joy to you, that you're doing something that matters to you. Practice it for a day, practice it for a week, practice it for a month, and come back and let us know in the comments how it worked for you, what you learned from that process, whether or not you wrote about it, what impact it had on your work, what impact it had on your team, what your boss said about you when you practice being selfish. Write about it in the comments, let us know what you think. What happens if you're not selfish at work, if you don't enjoy what you're doing? In a way, you're being what we would really consider selfish to be, is you're coming in a bad mood and you're spreading that bad mood around to everybody else who you work with. Now, if I work with you, I would consider you to be very mean and very selfish. So when we talk about selfishness, look at it in terms of the balance between you taking care of yourself and you taking care of other people. By taking care of myself and making sure that I'm doing something that brings me joy, I bring joy to my work. By bringing joy to my work, I'm actually taking care of you. So pick something that you're really good at being a customer for. So it might be buying shoes. I'm really good at being a customer for buying shoes because I do an awful lot of hiking and I get sore feet. And if my work shoes aren't comfortable, I have a hell of a time getting through the day. So I've become a very good customer for buying shoes. I go into a good shoe store that I know. I have a conversation and a relationship with some of the people in the store at this point, and I tell them what it is that I'm looking for and they know what to bring to me. That's being a really good customer. I know what's going to satisfy me. I know how long it's going to take me to figure that out. I know why I came in and I know what I'm looking for. I strongly recommend that you start putting yourself as a customer for your own satisfaction and joy as you advance your career, for your own satisfaction and joy at work, and for your own satisfaction and joy as you think about getting promoted. If you really want to become a fantastic customer for your own career, become a fantastic customer for your own career advancement. And the reason why it's important is not because someone else told you that career advancement was important, but it's important because you say it's important, because you understand where it is you want to go and how it's going to bring you joy. If you're interested in career advancement and now you have decided that it is important for you, you have decided that you are going to be somewhat selfish and make sure that you are enjoying your work and bringing joy to your work, I invite you to look at my promotion readiness assessment. There's a link to it in the description. Get in there, do the assessment, see whether or not you're ready to take the first step on your career advancement journey and get yourself promoted. And good luck with it.